Hey guys, welcome back to another Delta Fleet Flight School video with the Razorbill, and today we're going to be exploring the Razorbill's artificial intelligence capabilities. We've got 3 islands we need to capture, and these islands have not been scouted at all yet, except for these boats that I'm scanning right now. That's a swordfish. And we're going to see how little pilot intervention we can get away with and only using the map screen to order Razorbills to destroy targets, and how successful that might be in the game. So let's get started. First, we've got a needlefish with AA missiles and CWAS, so it doesn't have any torpedoes or noisemakers available. Let's launch a torpedo Razorbill to go deal with that, and in the meantime, take the carrier a little bit away from that, because the idea here is we're going to be launching these torpedoes beyond that needlefish's AA missile range, just to keep the Razorbill safe. It looks like we have an enemy aircraft in the air. So what we're going to do with that is launch a Razorbill to go take care of it. Now first we're going to order our torpedo Razorbill to attack, and let's see at what distance it decides to launch. So that's pretty far away, 6 kilometers. Now we could go a little closer, so let's do that. We're going to close to within this red ring, which is the needlefish's maximum engagement range for the AA missiles. Also, something else to note, this torpedo has been aimed directly at the needlefish. So, in the future, we may want to aim from another part. Okay, so the Razorbill has been under attack. Let's get inside and launch some flares. Okay, so that flare has been very helpful in keeping that Razorbill alive. Now, anticipating that that is going to get shot down, or sorry, this needlefish is going to be destroyed, let's begin launching our air-to-air combat aircraft. So you can see here, one of our torpedoes is tracking and another one just completely missed the needlefish. So that's why it's always good to have a backup just in case one of them does fail. And now we're just waiting for this Razorbill to lift off the deck. And there it goes. Now let's give it some orders to attack this aircraft. And that needlefish is destroyed, so that gives us free reign over the airspace over Charissa, except for the aircraft. And speaking of aircraft, I'm going to outfit another Razorbill with air-to-air missiles and bring more out of the hangar. We've got this Razorbill, he's on course, and let's launch another one while we're here. And if we want to prioritize launching, we have to get every aircraft out of the traffic pattern first. So now we can see we are in launch mode, no longer in landing mode. But we're going to halt the carrier just to help make this launch sequence a little bit safer. So it looks like this Razorbill is attacking this unknown aircraft type, and it's just going to close the distance until it gets within launch range, which for the AI, I'm not sure how far that is. Right now it's trailing at about 4.5 kilometers, so I'm very curious to see when it actually does launch. And once we get closer, okay, so that was about 4 kilometers, which is the same as an AI ship. So let's also have this Razorbill fly closer, and we want to use our TV missile against this unknown aircraft type. While we're at it, let's also scan this ship to the south. Looks like a needlefish just by the size of it. I see 2 lights, an AA missile station, and a 160mm station. That means this would be a prime target for a IR missile strike, because there would be no CWAS to shoot down the missiles. And I see a swordfish over here, so let's keep our albatross safe in this area. And now that we've launched our second air-to-air combat aircraft, 2 AA missiles, we can move this one closer to the front line and continue getting this one to its target, because we want to use that TV missile. We also see there's an aircraft taking off. In fact, let's see. Oh, that's a Manta. Let's definitely prioritize the Manta, because I see that as the bigger threat here. Oh man, gotta be very careful with these TV missiles. They're super sensitive. And that's a good hit. So now this Razorbill is out of ammo. Let's have it return to base. Let's instead have this Razorbill attack this aircraft using its AA missile. Also, this needlefish looks like it might actually be hit by the torpedo launched by the other Razorbill. Now let's begin to head south so we can pick up our low fuel aircraft. Something that you really need to keep in mind about the Razorbill is it has a very, very tiny fuel tank. It's not very good at long range operations. It can do them, but you just have to be super mindful. And in the meantime, let's get our Albatross in orbit to scan targets on Charissa, so then we can begin sending orders to the Razorbills to attack with guns. And I've never done this before. I'm very curious to see just how effective the Razorbills are at destroying targets on the ground. So we shall see. Well, it looks like there are no more aircraft taking off from this airfield, so now let's focus on landing these aircraft instead. We've currently got a few Razorbills in the traffic pattern, and they're doing well on fuel, and that's because we're being very disciplined about landing aircraft that are no longer useful in the operation. And now that we've scanned all of these targets, let's start to get a little bit more information on some of the ships down south at Tokamak. Okay, so now we have one Razorbill in the air with waypoints. Let's start designating attack waypoints with the gun on the Razorbill to see how well it does at actually destroying ground targets. Now, I have seen in the past a tendency for AI aircraft to spend a lot of ammo on a few targets, which may not be the best situation here, but we'll just see how it works. Ooh, looks like there's a ship here. Let's not mess with that. Keep our Albatross safe. We have an aircraft taking off. Let's order our aircraft in the landing pattern to attack it with an AA missile. And let's see, what type of aircraft is this? It is a Manta. So that's a little bit more serious. We have an AA missile going out. And Manta down. Perfect. Let's join in on the gun run of this Razorbill. That's very interesting. It looks like it's not using very much ammo at all. So I'm very surprised. Maybe we should begin reducing the altitude of these waypoints to permit the Razorbill to have more accuracy. And I can already see this Razorbill is taking a lot of damage. So let's bring him back home before he explodes. Well, I think now is probably a good time to wrap up the video. AI swarm tactics are interesting, but they are definitely not as good as just human pilots flying the Razorbill. Even a lot of new players that I meet online in public servers can fly better than the AI can when it comes to strafing islands with gun runs, and it just takes so much time to land all of the aircraft when launching so many, and you have no choice but to launch a lot of aircraft if you want to quickly clear islands because the Razorbills get damaged and they take a really long time to come back around for more passes. So, all in all, try swarm tactics if this looks interesting to you, but for the most part, I would try to focus on training up those manual piloting skills and relying a little bit less on the AI. Although the AI is really good at air to air missile launches and torpedoes, but beyond those two, I would rather see myself manning players in these aircraft. And with that, um, I'll see you in the next video.